Congratulations on coming onto this video. This just shows that you have signed off for the webinar. I congratulate you for it. Before we go for the webinar, I thought I would give you some videos so that you can prep up to be able to take the best out of the webinar that we do. So this is the first of the 3 sets of videos that I'm going to go through with you. The first video is why real change is difficult. Firstly, the question to ask ourselves is that true? Is it true that in our lives, there have been times, in fact, you can reflect over this question, in the last 5 to 10 years, how many big goals or resolutions did you make? How many of them did you really accomplish? What is to understand or possibly reflect on is, which are the ones that I was able to accomplish? What was different about them vis-a-vis the ones that I was not able to accomplish? Maybe the answer lies therein. But the fact remains is that real change is difficult. Why? Because from a brain science point of view, it requires rewiring of your brain. And there are a large number of small gaps between various neurons, known as synapses, where the new electric pulse will need to jump across them so as to create a new pathway in the brain. And this new pathway would be the pathway of the new behavior. Now, unfortunately, it is not enough for this electrical pulse to go through this pathway, the new pathway, once, twice, thrice. But it needs to do it multiple number of times so that the new behavior becomes hardwired. So we are going to talk about what can we do or what do we need as the first step to acknowledge for change to happen. Our current reality is that all of us truly know the ideal person that we want to become. We exactly know. In our mind's eye, we can actually see ourselves as that ideal person. And while we see ourselves as that ideal person, unfortunately, we are not able to become that ideal person. Now, why are we talking about things which are at a distant space, which we are not able to achieve, even on a day-to-day basis? While we make a plan and we know what is important for us, so many times we are not able to follow a day's plan as well. So while we can't actually follow small little things that we acknowledge are important to us and which are in the immediate, you can imagine how difficult it is when there's something at the distant that you want to achieve. And not only would you be able to, or you will need to make every day count towards making that a possibility. But unfortunately, we are not able to do so. Now, the first thing to understand is it is not your fault. It is not because you have not been told or been given a process or know of a methodology. So the first thing that we must understand is it is not your fault. It is a fault of not being able to understand certain realities of life. And the moment you do so, you will find that change becomes easier. So what is that reality of life? The first reality of life, which many of us may not want to acknowledge, is that we are not completely in control. Agree? A lot of things are within our locus of control. A lot of things that we have planned for the next day, we know we can do because we know the time that we are going to spend on it. But when you go to the office the next day, there are so many things outside your control which you hadn't planned for, which comes into the urgency, and then you are taken away from what is important to you. So the first thing is to acknowledge is environment plays a very important part in our change that happens. It is an external environment which takes us away from becoming the person we want to because it has its own demands. So understanding the fact that that there is certain things in our control and certain things not in our control. And when I say not in our control, if we are not aware of those things that take us away, we will not have methodologies or strategies to be able to get back into our bearing, into our GPS, and do the thing that is important to us. So write down a goal that you've been planning on accomplishing for a long, long time. Just write that down. Think about it. There's something that I wanted to do, but I've not been able to do. It could be very well in your personal life. It could be very well in your professional life. Just write it down. And it should be or could be a goal that you have been trying or you have been wanting to achieve over a large number of years. So write down that in the first part. The second part, write down the number of years since which you have been wanting to achieve it, but you haven't really got the time to do so. Or other important things came in the way. Now, if you have not been able to do it for a long course of time, what are the chances that you will be able to do it on your own without any support and without a new process? So the fact is that if you do not start doing things differently to what you have been doing, and you don't raise your awareness to more possibilities around you or what is happening around you, it is very unlikely that you're going to achieve the goal that you have always wanted to do or achieve, but haven't achieved for a long, long period of time. So the first part of making a change is acknowledging that to do it all alone without a process, without a support structure is really not that easy. So the first thing that you need to do is understand and agree this. And you can write down here, my name is dash, write down your name. Just write down now, my name is dash, write it down. I really wanted to be better at listening to others. So put down where I've written listening to others, that behavior, that goal that you wanted to achieve, but you haven't been able to achieve. So write down, my name is dash. I really wanted to dash, write down your goal. I planned on doing this for the last dash number of years. So we asked you to put down something which you have wanted to do, but not been able to accomplish over a long period of time. And now comes the important part. I haven't been able to do this by myself for, let's say, 5 years. And there is no chance or very little chance that I will be able to do it by myself in the future. And then you can put up your hand and say, I need help. I need help, and that is okay. So this is also a very big acknowledgement most people don't make. Because what comes in the way is something known as ego. I can do it all by myself. I don't need anybody to tell me what a process I should be following. The humility that you need to have to be able to say that I need help and that is okay. And in the webinar that I'm going to do with you, I'll be providing you the 7 steps that you must follow in a consistent manner to achieve the goals that you have always desired to achieve. So this video is all about agreeing to the fact that I can always do better than what I'm doing today if I follow a structure, a process that is proven, and if I also create a support structure around me to support me in the change that I wanted to do. So congratulations on being a part of this video. Do not forget to go to the next video because that's giving you certain very interesting human qualities that you must have or anybody should have if he really wants to change. Thank you, best of luck, and see you soon.